Salutations, my Legion of Doom. This is your Time Lord wannabe, the Brainstormer of pop culture. So today I'll be covering a controversial subject, or what is thought to be a controversial topic. Yes, I'm talking about the over-sexualization of women in comic books. If anything I have against it is when a character is overtly sexualized and it doesn't fit the character. Then I see it as a slight insult to that character. Of course, it has changed as of late due to the influx of political correctness writers and artists that have sought to change that. My opinion on the subject of stories and characters in the last year and a half in the comics industry made by those same artists and writers are covered in my first opinion video. Go check it out if you want to know. However, I'd argue that the sexualization of superheroines is a good thing. Now, hear me out. I don't agree that characters should only be pictures to be oogled at. I'd say that the way women, as well as men, are to be drawn as physically fit heroes. Because, as superheroes, it's a natural thing to be thin and have muscle build. Because you're doing all that fighting, flying, running, and jumping around. Only makes sense that you stay fit. Also, the women in the comics chose to look like that, It's nothing to do with male gaze, which is a stupid term and will be its own video, maybe. These women are comfortable in their own skin to be able to walk around out of the world, into the world, and just do what they do best. Be heroes. They don't really care what others think of their appearance. It's the actions of a hero that truly matters in the long run. Take that to heart, SJW bastards. Forget I said that. Okay, so lastly, the truth is that the way a character looks like doesn't really matter, aside from a dynamic costume, of course. And what really matters is the personality and internal struggles of those characters. Yeah. So many people of Comicsgate have said, we don't care what skin or how hot the characters are. What matters is that they're people, characters, not virtue signals or whatever the fuck you want to make them out to be. And all those writers at Marvel, you know who you are. Okay, so for some examples, first off, I got Harley Quinn. Yeah, she's hot, right? Oh, yeah, she is. But she is also one of the most tragic and abused characters I've ever seen in a comic. I mean, she thinks she's in love with a murderous lunatic after he manipulated her into being his groupie. He's not only insulted her constantly, chipping away at her confidence and just breaking this poor, misguided gal, but always made sure to make her come back crawling to him with just a few kind words here and there. New 52. Joker threw Harley into a dungeon full of rotting corpses wearing her costume and basically said to her that she's not special, that she could be replaced like that. Jesus Christ. And after all that, in her own comic book series, she confronted her abuser in the place where it all started, Arkham Asylum. They fought, and at the end, she kicks his ass, telling him that he will never hurt her ever again, that she's outgrown him. She climbed out of that pit that the Joker had thrown her in all those years ago. Alright, so second example, Mary Jane Watson. You'd have to be blind not to see her beauty. But she's more than a pretty face. She's super confident in herself. Like in her first appearance, she just outright says to Peter, "Face it, Tiger, you've hit the jackpot." That's just straight up ego there. And in that case, that's good. Well, in this case, it's good. She sees herself as this hot lady, which she is, but is willing to go out with a geek like Peter Parker. When Peter proposes to her, she declines, saying that she doesn't want to be tied down just yet. That's just how that character is, wanting to be free and having fun. and she's eventually there for Peter when Gwen Stacy dies. Peter, who loved Gwen, lashing out at MJ, telling her to get out and leave him, but she doesn't. She stays by his side and is there for a grieving man. And once they're married, she grows extremely worried for her husband, completely terrified that Peter won't come home for hours and hours on end. Eventually, becoming a smoker to ease the stress of both her celebrity status and home alone lifestyle since Peter always disappears. After a long time separated from Peter, she realized that she could not love Peter without also loving Spider-Man. She was once a confident, free-spirited woman who didn't want to be tied down, eventually realizing the true feelings she had for Peter as she served as his confidant through the grieving process of losing Gwen and being the most loving wife in a very complex relationship. That's Mary Jane Watson. And finally, we have Anissa, the violent and mesmerizing soldier of the Viltrum Empire, and one of the most dangerous villains of Invincible. She's lived for 1,000 years, never really aging that much. She's really powerful, too, being able to kill a giant monster just with one blow. She's not really one who beats around the bush. Oh no, if she wants something, she gets it, no matter what. For you guys that have the comics, she did something rather sinister. She was under orders to procreate with Earth's populace. Yeah, she was ordered to have sex with a bunch of guys to have children. Yeah, it's kind of a weird comic. However, her mindset was thinking human men are weak. And she set her sights on Invincible because of his half-Viltrumite blood. So, I'm just going to be blunt. She raped Invincible. Yep, she totally force-screwed a young man who was married at the time against that man's will, severely traumatizing the man for years to come. After that, and many other things later, she settled down with a new man, having a kid, which was the kid of the guy she had raped. After some time, she helped defend Earth with other Viltrumites, which became home to her. So, Anissa is a violent, power-obsessed, extroverted personality, and actually a total bitch, if I'm being honest. All this makes her a fascinating character to read about. Her beauty is only an afterthought. In conclusion, the sexual depiction of women in comics is okay as long as it's not overdone. What matters most is the character, not the actual appearance of that character, but if they happen to be beautiful in a way, okay, I don't care that much. What I want in my comics is good art, a fun story, and characters that I can invest in. Alright, this was Brainstormer Opinions. Hope you liked it. I'll be making more of these. Subscribe, like, and comment, and in brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Until next time, my legion.